Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we'll be going through the start of round 9 of the AFLW season, in which Hawthorn kicked it off with a win against Melbourne, which in the end, after the result of the Friday night game of Adelaide versus North Melbourne, solidified Hawthorn as a top 2 side for the year. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of mess around that sort of top 4 range, especially after the draw last night, which can set up a big final round. But anyway, let's just jump into this video, get through all of this, and then sort of explain my plans for the next sort of couple months, I guess. But anyway, so you have here the Hawks against the Demons, and Hawks ran out 6-point winners here. Lucy Wales, 109. I think she's one that I've definitely going to put on the watch list for next year. There's definitely a couple of the girls that I'm looking at and thinking they're definitely ones that could score really, really well. Wales is one of them just because she's really, really strong in terms of non-disposal work, and that's really what you need as a ruckman. And if you look at her stats, if we look here, I don't think they'll be updated for the game that we just had here, the 109, but she's averaging probably about, what's that, maybe that's about 730, 740, so probably it would be about 885, I'd say, that she's averaging. So it'll be interesting to see what she ends up averaging for the year, but 85 is a little bit tough to really make that big jump, but we did see the likes of Strom make that kind of jump. She went from 83 to about 108 or so, I think, 107. So there is that one there. Fleming, 100, she's also one that I'm definitely intrigued to see, because I don't think she's been necessarily, it's been hard one to, I guess, gauge a little bit, but she's sort of been in and around the CBAs, but I don't know whether she'll take that next big jump into the CBAs, because, yeah, you can sort of see she's probably been about that 52, 53% after this 24 in round 1. As you see here, it's 48, but if you take that 24 out, it probably jumps up to about 52. When you take that into context, I think she's one that could take the next big step. It'll just be a question if she does or not. Lucas Rod, I think with the defender role next year that she's pretty much guaranteed to have, she's definitely one that I'm looking at, just because they do play this good style of play for sort of defenders, and she's averaged 81 in the past, and we see 0 CBA, so she's definitely one to look at next year with that defender role. Bates, 89, West, 83, Ashmore, 72, so she got up there in the scoring. Richardson, Williamson, Smith, Stevenson, Hipwell, McDonough 50 as well here. A lot of the forwards just didn't score that well. Then you have Kemp, Elliott, Sheriff with a 42 as well, so she's come back and scored all right, not perfect, but she's definitely one that next year I think will have that full midfield role, which will be a little bit annoying, but she's averaging 59 for the year. So yeah, she definitely did take a jump this year, but it's annoying that she sort of had a little bit of a slow, had that injury which slowed her completely down and made her lose all fantasy relevance for the next at least couple of years, because I don't expect her to take that jump to primo status. Looking at Breed here, you'll see she is pretty much full-time midfielder, and that pretty much sucks because that means that she's probably not going to be fantasy relevant next year, I don't think, averaging 62. I don't think she makes that next step, to be honest with you, up towards that sort of, that would probably have to be about 90 range for her to be fantasy relevant, so I don't think she does. Gilroy, 25, she was a primo defender, but she was playing up forward, so she kind of had this, it was kind of dependent on goals, whether she would score well, and she just didn't kick a goal in this game, and that's why she didn't score well. McLaughlin, Vukic, Italy, and then Bascarin, 14. Then we move over to Melbourne, and with the Kate Hall being out, I thought I had made a really good move until the ruck matchup in the Freo versus GWS game, and then there was actually a much better move that I could have done. But I just want to also just check one thing quickly, just off topic a little bit here. I just want to check, where is it? Okay, 67, that's not the worst. So, okay, that's not the worst, actually, now thinking about it. So, The move that I would have made probably, yeah, I could have made one move which would have probably been better than the other, but yeah, it wasn't the worst in the end, the move that I did go. McNamara, 82, 24 touches, probably took up more midfield time, and the reason why I actually held Gouldrick in the end was because we thought that, I thought she would get some midfield time with the likes of Kate Hall being out, but it didn't happen, I don't think. Which really does suck, as now she's injured alongside Daisy Darcy's done her ACL, it looks like, alongside the other Wales sister has done her ACL, it looks like, as well. So looks like we're coming out of this round with about 3 injuries, 2 of them to my side because they felt bad that I had some injury-free time, so they decided, yeah, let's get back on the injury train. But back to this. McNamara, 24, Hanks, 21. These girls just they're not fancy relevant, though. That's the problem with the Melbourne midfielders, is they get enough of the ball, but they don't do like a Marinoff where they go off, or a Rowbottom or something like that, where they really feature in one of the categories really heavily, like a 10, 12 tackle effort or something like that, alongside low 20s possession-wise, or whether they just go off and have 30-odd disposals. That's why they really struggle to score. It feels like batting 1 goal 3, you're not really going to get that 80-point output, I don't think, regularly. Mackin, 23 touches to 78. Fitzsimon, 73. Witherspoon, 64. Mithun, 60, which it's just they're just not really there in terms of being relevant, because you're going to get 60 out of a lot of players. Mithun, 60, we talked about. Gouldrick, 58. If you look fancy quarter by quarter, she just didn't really... She was probably on track for about a 70 as well. She just got injured with about 5 minutes to go, and she was having a down quarter here. But if you take the 5 minutes to go in this quarter, you're probably thinking she's going to score probably another 5 points, give or take, which is a mid-60 score still. So it isn't even the worst score there. Heath, Purcell, Campbell here, 50 as well for her. Chaplin, 39, Gould, Pearce, Taylor, Watt as well. Watt had a slower game this one with only 33% tog, 29 points. And then you've got here Zanker, Taylor, Lampard, Gillard, and Johnson. So that pretty much is the video there, going through all of the fancy relevance sort of for this year and next year out of the Hawthorn versus Melbourne game. Obviously, you're going to have potential draftees, etc., and other girls coming off the injury list, which will probably change a lot of this up, etc. But for the meantime, there's not many girls here that are really fancy relevant for next year, other than I would say Lucy Wales taking that big jump, and probably Lucas Rod with that halfback role when she gets the halfback status. But other than that, that pretty much is it. And I don't really like anyone from Melbourne, to be honest with you. But anyway, if you did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.